Welcome, YouTube. Monday edition, Past the Prop. It is a special day today. We have a guest with the money. We got an NBA slate today instead of our NFL Monday Night Football stuff. But as always, we got Stu here. Vaughn, welcome back. How we doing today? It's been a little bit, V-Money. I think, a couple weeks?
It's been a couple weeks. Yeah, we've all been on our grind now, but we're in that spot where it's NFL, NBA, college basketball, and college football. So great time of year. Excited to be here with you guys, and definitely best NBA slate of the season because every team is playing today because tomorrow they have off due to the election. So bet NBA today and go out and vote tomorrow.
Stu, how you feeling, man? How overwhelmed were you looking at the slate today?
Oh my God, man. It's so hard, right? I mean, I'm sure all you guys were up last night, 1 or 2 in the morning, just waiting for those lines to come in. It's always fun, though. It feels a little bit like Christmas morning comes a little bit early. I feel like I'm going to mess up what team plays what like 8 times today. And also, I mean, with so many games, it's so early. I'm sure I'm going to learn some stuff from you guys today, too, as well, in games that I haven't even made it to yet. So very excited. A lot of smart bets. I know the community and the chat is going to give us some fire ones as well. So just excited, man. Today should be really fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of games to talk about today. But before we even get to any NBA, obviously we want to talk NFL Week 9 NFL recap. Obviously, we'll go through our plays and such. But what's our biggest takeaway from Week 9? Do we have anything that sticks out? Vaughn, do you have anything from Week 9 that just kind of was like, damn, that was impressive? Somebody, some player, some fantasy spots. Anything?
Yeah, the dogs were barking. I thought all the dogs would be barking yesterday, and they definitely were. I mean, I had a couple outright wins. The Commanders, the Lions. I really like what the Commanders have done with Tyler Heineke. He's been an improvement over Carson Wentz. I know that what didn't look like it in the first quarter of his first start, but he's come around. And Antonio Gibson, how they've used him has been awesome so far. So I'm definitely looking at them. I'm liking the Cowboys entering this week. Their matchup, I think they're 4.5-point favorites. But yeah, it's been an interesting NFL slate. The Jets obviously got a huge win. Both double-digit favorites did not cover. So that is now taking the underdog in that situation has been profitable this year. But I don't have any official plays on Monday Night Football, but I do have some significant trends to show you guys, and I think that's why the line movement has moved the way it has. So looking forward to hearing your guys' plays.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, I'm kind of excited for this one. I know there's a lot of great NBA tonight, but we don't get two competitive, good teams with playoff aspirations very often. I mean, both of them are kind of middle of the pack right now, but they will be definitely fighting for these wild card spots. So I think it'll be a good one. I don't know who I think is going to win yet. That's kind of a tough one for me. I don't know who's actually going to win, but I do think this will have some interesting prop plays. I do have an article out already for the 33rd team, which I joined today. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, you should get over there. I wrote my first article for them. I feel very good about that one. And yeah, I'll probably get some touchdown plays, maybe some John Oliver, get some backup tight end action because, who doesn't love a nice backup tight end touchdown right here? So feeling pretty good. What about you, Justin? You feeling good about this one? Any strong takes?
I don't have a real take on the game, honestly, tonight. I really haven't even looked into it much. I was thinking about this morning. I'm like, do I bet on one of these 100 college basketball games? I said, no, I'm going to be less of a degenerate than I want to be, but 15 games for NBA. Dude, honestly, I really haven't even looked at it. I probably won't have a bet on either side. But for takeaways from yesterday, man, dude, I fucking love Tyreek Hill, dude. I fucking love that guy. I love him, dude. He's been my biggest play the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And this dude is just a machine.
Yeah, I was actually looking at his prop, and I keep telling myself it's been 3 weeks now where I'm like, man, why am I not betting Tyreek Hill's receiving yards every single week? I mean, he fastest guy to 1,000 yards since Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And have you heard after his interview, they said, how do you feel about it? And he said, well, I got the most accurate quarterback in the league, baby.
And it's crazy, too, the way they play, man. The way they play where Tyreek Hill, he doesn't serve as a running back, but the way they use those short passes, those are essentially just run plays. The way other teams would attack a scheme and the way the other teams would make a defense adjust for your deep threat, they still do that through Tyreek Hill. They just use him in short passing situations. It's some of the craziest usage we've seen in a long time, and it's awesome. I'm glad I've been tailing, like you said, back-to-back Tyreek hammers in here.
Yeah, dude, it was – and I just think it was just absolutely disrespectful. The books opened him at 85.5, the exact same as the week before, after he just dropped like 150 or 180, whatever it was. Then he comes back and just does it again, dude. Back-to-back first half cashes is unreal. And while we're at it, let's just go into our recap for the weekend. Obviously, we went with heavy wide receiver ones. Yeah. Obviously, Jefferson was fantastic. Cashed in for you, Stu. Tyreek, obviously. I mean, there's not much other adjectives I can use for this man. And then let's just talk about just 2 second half busts, dude. Hopkins was cooking those dudes. St. Brown was cooking those dudes. Jared Goff, bro. Jared Goff's passing in the second half was worse than me with my left hand, bro. It was so bad. I have no way of just describing how many open passes St. Brown had. Dude, he was literally open on probably 3 or 4 of those passes, thrown at his feet. Didn't even watch where Jair Alexander was and throws it right to him instead. I'm like, how are you this bad, Goff? I know you were on St. Brown, weren't you, Vaughn?
Yeah, and he had the nice streak going at home, 7+ catches, 100 yards. He had a touchdown in 4 of his last 5 home games. Good matchup against a terrible Packers team that we continue to fade every single week. So, yeah, I didn't understand it either. But when Jared Goff's the quarterback, that's what happens sometimes. That's the reason why I'm wearing a hat. I pulled out all my hair watching Jared Goff miss those passes. And then the next game, Matthew Stafford and the Rams continually run the football. Why are you running? If they would just threw the football, they would have won that football game. But you know what? It's all right. Keep giving the ball to Ronnie Rivers, Cam Akers, and Darrell Henderson. See where it gets you.
Oh, yeah, being a Rams fan must be pretty tough, too, and just in general. But, yeah, and my Hopkins one, man, oh, my God, that was so frustrating. After, I don't know, I've told the story the last couple weeks about how I bet on Rondell Moore, and they didn't look at him once during that game, and it was all Hopkins, all Hopkins. I had to watch the exact opposite now, where Hopkins came out 4 catches very easily. We just need 3 catches in the second half, and then nope, all Rondell Moore, Rondell Moore, Rondell Moore. It was infuriating, so I'm glad we can put that behind us right here. I guess you didn't even get to the best part, though.
Yeah, no, even though Hopkins sucked, right, the second half, back-to-back touchdowns where we came through. We only put half a unit on that, but that's still a unit and a half that we get to throw into our numbers. And, I mean, our overall numbers, I know we were talking about it, where we were at that 5 units. We were going like 1 to 5, and we couldn't get out of there. What a 3-week stretch we've been having here for NFL Pass the Prop, hitting at a pretty nice rate. And I think that's our 3rd or 4th touchdown parlay that we've come through with this year. Obviously, that is exactly right, Stu. We are on the rise for NFL right now, and very excited to attack Week 10 here and not have like 27 bye weeks that I had to worry about this week.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, I guess final takeaways. Let's see. Washed quarterbacks has been continued. I mean, you know this with Rodgers. We talk about that every week. I mean, he looks solid out there at times, but man, the lack of talent out there. I don't think OBJ is going to save you, buddy. I'm sorry to tell you. I don't think that's happening.
Don't go to Green Bay, OBJ. Don't go to Green Bay.
Exactly.
Too cold for him, bro. Too cold.
Back to LA.
I think the Giants would be really cool. It doesn't make a lot of sense logically, just they're not a team that's going to use him that much, so I don't know why he would want to go there, but it would be great for the narrative. So I'm rooting for OBJ to the Giants now that my Commanders are officially out of the playoff race.
How about shout out to the Chiefs medical team getting Kadarius Toney to get back real quick, healthy after 5 weeks off. Boom, he's right back, dude. Right when he touches and puts on that red uniform, he automatically becomes healthy. Weird how that works.
Has he played at all this season? Has he even played a snap this season before being traded? I don't think so, right?
And maybe week 1.
I don't know. The guy,
he hasn't played since week 2, so
that's a good point. If he got traded to the Chargers, he'd be out for the season. They don't know how to do anything over there. But yeah, Chiefs got him good and ready. So it looks like a little bit of taste of victory can, suddenly get you healthy real quick. Although the Giants were doing fine. I don't know what Tony's problem over there was, but we'll see.
Jones.
My best ball teams need him to be real good the second half, so we'll see what happens.
You and me both, my friend. You and me both. But, yes, we got about 30 of you guys in here live. We appreciate you spending your Monday afternoon with us. I think that's it. That's all the NFL we got for you. It's time to head to NBA, and it's very exciting. It's very exciting. There's a ton of huge totals across the board. We're seeing quite a few 230s, which is not something we normally see. But we can do what we do for football. What game are you most looking forward to tonight? Stu, let's start with you. What's the game that caught your eye on this 15 gamer? I know it's hard when you're looking up and down on the sheet there.
Yeah, so let's see. For me, I mean, I always say my own team. I think secretly, I know that people are probably going to hate this. There's a lot of actually good games. Raptors Bulls, I think, will be a really good one. I want to watch the two worst teams play each other. I want to watch the Magic Rockets. I really do think I'll have that one up on the big TV for a good amount of time. I just like watching these young guys kind of go at it. You know, a lot of prop potential. I'm sure that's probably got to be one of the highest totals on the slate, right? So I'm pumped for that one personally.
Vaughn, what about you?
Yeah, there's a lot of great games today. I'm a Bulls fan, so Bulls Raptors definitely up there for me. Celtics Grizzlies, I locked in John Morant over 27.5 points up to 29.5 now. I got Tatum's over points and rebounds in that one, so I'm super excited. But if you want me to roll into my first bet, I'll tell you about the game I'm really excited about because it's a team I've been fading, the Golden State Warriors. That road trip, 0-5, ATS, and on the money line, and now they get to come back home. They've actually, since last year, I think they're 2-8 in their last 10 East Coast games, the Golden State Warriors. All right. So they do not win on the East Coast, but now they come back home. And we took the Pelicans in that last game on the road trip for the Warriors because we thought Draymond or Clay could be out, but it wasn't just those two. It was basically their entire team ended up being out. So we did catch the Pelicans spread, and Steph Curry got some extra rest. They get a team that he's already beat this year. They've already beat this year. He scored 33 points on them. And if you look at the Warriors' 3 wins, he scored 33 points in all 3 of those games, oddly enough. But this is a Kings team he torments. I mean, you look at his numbers, 33, 20, 30, 27, 37, 30, 36, 42, 35. That's his game log against the Kings in his last 8 to 9 games. So sign me up for Steph Curry. The losing should end tonight for the Warriors. But if it doesn't, he will have his 30 points no matter what. So I like Steph Curry tonight a lot.
Yeah, honestly, my first thought when you started saying this is like, why have I not bet this yet? I mean, they're playing the Kings. And the good thing, like you mentioned too, at this point in the season, the Warriors defense is not playing great, whether they're just not gelled yet. I mean, honestly, it's early. They know they're a championship team. It possibly could just be effort at this point. But what that means is if the Kings are going to be scoring out here, then Curry's obviously going to have to fire back right here. So I really like this spot, honestly. This is definitely going to end its way up in my DraftKings account tonight for sure.
Well, I'll just say this. The Warriors defense isn't nearly as good this year because Gary Payton's not there. Andre Iguodala's not there. Clay and Draymond, Steph, they all age another year after all these games played in the postseason. That's an extra 20, 30 games. So, yeah, I mean, there has been a lot of interesting factors going on. But like you said, it's a high total, sit at 234.5 tonight. So, yeah, they don't expect defense. And Sabonis, if you watch the Kings play, that dude loves getting in foul trouble. So Steph Curry should be at the free throw line playing tonight too.
Yeah, and I mean, you just talked the total, man. We got the number 1 pace team. The Warriors are actually the number 1 pace team in the NBA. Obviously, the Kings are always top 10 in pace when you got De'Aaron Fox up at the point there. But yeah, I always like to kind of see those young teams try to compete with these really good teams, and obviously Curry's gonna do his thing tonight, and I'm very, very pumped to watch that one. And we get to send it over to you, Stu, a guy I did not expect to see this in your stuff today. I really didn't.
Yeah, this is new for me, guys. This is new for me. Going into the rebound market is something I don't love to do, but this spot definitely stuck out to me, right? Steven Adams coming in here, averaging over 11 rebounds per game so far this season. I think kind of like his double-double a little bit too as a nice sneaky kind of plus money play. The problem is the scoring isn't always there for Steven Adams. That's definitely not his job. They asked him a couple of days ago why he's so good at rebounding, and he pretty much just said it. I'm a man playing with little boys out there. And Steven Adams, if you go to all of these NBA podcasts, they'll all tell you he's probably the strongest guy in the NBA, right? Running into him is like running into a brick wall down there. And the fact that he's doing this all playing about 20 to 25 minutes per game is what I like. I think he can grab us our 10 rebounds in 20 minutes, but due to this matchup against the Celtics, I do think he'll be out there for a little bit longer, actually. You got to match up with Horford. You got to match up with that size that they have down there, and I think he does have a distinct rebounding advantage in this situation. The Celtics have allowed the fourth most rebounds per game so far this season, and they've been getting crushed. I believe, I think every center has 10 rebounds. Every starting center has 10 rebounds, except Bam Adebayo, who is permanently on my ban list. You will never see me putting out a Bam Adebayo play. Absolutely not. So that didn't surprise me at all. But like I said, centers have absolutely been crushing this number. So I did have to kind of throw you guys for a loop and go over to this rebound market because I feel good about Adams. I think maybe, I don't know what 12 or 13 or 14 rebounds is, but that might be a nice sprinkle if we get some good odds.
Yeah, no, I don't remember the last time I seen you bet a rebounding prop, dude. That's usually me. Usually I'm the guy sending us to the rebound realm over there. And then here's Stu. I just was not expecting to see this rebounding number here for you. But yeah, dude, I did watch that interview with Steven Adams. He's always a very entertaining dude. So yeah, I love that spot. And I never got to tell you what game I was most excited about. And this would be the one. I'm heading to the Pacers. The Pacers are where I'm going, dude. This team is fun to watch. They are so fast. And I'm heading to a guy who I never really ever thought I'd ever play a points, rebound, assist line for Buddy Hield. He used to be called the black hole of his team. That's what I called him, because if the ball went in, it never came out. It was going up. There was never a pass. Buddy Hield has changed that, right? He's averaging 6.3 potential assists this year per game. He's averaging 10 potential rebound chances. That is crazy for a guy who usually sits out on the three-point line, right? But let's just look at straight volume. This man is shooting 10 threes per game. 10 threes per game. You got Tyrese Halliburton. I do like this spot for Halliburton tonight. Obviously, he's been absolutely fantastic, but I think that the best defender for New Orleans is heading to Halliburton. I think we're going to get some driving kicks. You have Noah Duarte, who shoots pretty much every time he touches the ball. So we lose him. We're probably seeing Hield in a competitive matchup tonight, seeing 35 to 37 minutes. We're getting pace here. We're getting a New Orleans team who really can't defend, right? Besides their high-end guys, right? You got your Herb Jones and Murphy are pretty good on the wings, but I think Hield has a fantastic opportunity to pop off tonight. And this pace should be quick. We have a fat total here at like 234.5, and Buddy Hield has just been crushing it. And I know we've talked about Jalen Brunson, PRAs on the show, and all these guys are like points, rebounds, assists. They have to have the ability to pop off in every single category, right? We've seen 25-point games from Buddy Hield this year. We've seen 8 assist games from Buddy Hield this year. We've seen 10 rebound games from Buddy Hield this year. Everywhere across the board, Buddy Hield has had a pop-off game in one of those categories, and I expect to see that again tonight against the Pelicans in this fun matchup here. Have you been betting Buddy Hield there, Vaughn, at all? Have you been betting on him?
No, we don't bet Buddy Hield, but I do like it. I've been watching all the Pacers games because I've been betting Tyrese Halliburton. I'm on his 33.5 points, rebounds, assists over tonight. So I wouldn't talk you off either player, though. Like you said, without Chris Duarte, there's definitely someone has to step up, and I just expect the usage just to be handed out between these two. And maybe a little Miles Turner because he has been fed a little bit, but it's been these two assisting him. So, I like that play a lot. I actually think the Pacers are going to probably win this game tonight. The spread opened at 6. It's down to 5 right now. It just flipped on FanDuel. And I'm thinking about doing a money line parlay tonight, and that's probably going to be the underdog team I take. So, yeah, I like the Pacers. I like Halliburton and Hield a lot.
Yeah, it's good when you have those teams that kind of have concentrated usage, right? It's not like 18 different guys are spreading the ball around too. And another thing you mentioned too is I believe what Hield is currently, the Pelicans are top 3 to 5 in assists allowed to point guards, which means that those driving kicks are going to be Halliburton hitting the lane and then kicking it out to Hield, which kind of helps both of your bets right there. So I love Buddy Hield, man. You can't even ladder his threes though, because they start at like 4. So it's like, where are you going to ladder to? Like 7? I don't know. That seems pretty hard. But I don't know. I love Buddy Hield. He's fun. He just shoots the ball all the time. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah, no, and he's always been a guy never back anything but points or threes. But this year, something flipped. He said, I'm going to pass the ball once in a while, and I'll take it. let's take a look here at who's in the chat. We got a lot of you guys in here this afternoon. We'll see what's up. Turbo again popping in for a noon slate. He popped in at like 11:40 on here. So we appreciate you popping in here. We got Ryan in here. Jay, as always, we appreciate all you guys for popping in here. Jay talking about SGA in that Detroit game being his best bet of the day. Terrence hyping up, obviously, my boy, Tyreek. This was news that just popped on when we did pop on the show. We did see Dame Lillard is active tonight, which was not something I was expecting to see here. And yes, dude, I promise I'll get rid of the Packer flag. I just have not gotten to it. My Bucks flag is literally right over there. It'll find its way up. It's just, I don't know what I'm going to do with this one because, yeah, this is like a small one. This is like this big. The other one's way too big. My Bucks one's way too big, but yeah, I got too much stuff going on here. Over here, let's take a look. Stu, I guess this is for you. Are you concerned at all with that saying it feels fucked in his interview after the game?
Normally I think you guys are joking, but that does sound like exactly what Steven Adams would say. So, injury stuff is definitely always concerning, but at the end of the day, I'm not a doctor. I'm just going to have to trust he's going to get his, reasonable allotment of minutes and continue to produce out there. I feel like they don't really have much of a choice. If it's a close game, then put in Steve. I mean, what's that guy's name? Aldama is out there.
Andy Aldama.
Yeah, he's not great, which means Brandon Clark has to come in and play the 4. He could play the small ball 5, but that just puts him in a tough position. So I'm just going to hope he's healthy enough to go out there and give me those rebounds.
Not going to lie, I'm actually hoping he does not play tonight because I have Tatum's over points and rebounds, and I feel like that opens up a significant amount of points and rebound chances for Tatum. But, I don't know. I do think Adams what he does is he stands in the paint and he collects his rebounds when he's in. So, I wouldn't pick the double-double tonight, but I think rebounds is the way to play his over if you're playing an over.
For sure. And let's take a huge left turn here and head over to our Taylor Fade section for today.
Did we forget to do that?
We forgot to do the section. We went right into Curry. This is going to be an interesting one, seeing as we have not talked about the football game at all. But Lamar Jackson took out all 30 NBA teams for the most bet spot. That is absolutely impressive. That he is the most bet spot. 30 NBA games. There's 30 NBA teams out here, and Lamar still found his way. 59 rushing yards. Stu, where are we going here? Are you tailing or are you fading the public here for our only spot today over on Pickett, number 1 spot bet today?
Yeah, I'm going to share an opinion that not a lot of people are going to like. And I already knew it at the beginning of the show. I like the under, and I do think if it closes closer to like 64, if it keeps getting steamed up, because in some places it is already in the 60s, I could actually be betting real money on the under too. He has nobody. He has no help. It's just Lamar. It's Lamar against the world. So I understand the inclination to bet the over, right? I mean, it's one of those situations where who is he going to throw it to, right? Here's the problem. If you watch the tape over the last couple weeks, Lamar Jackson is not running. I mean, just not at all. I don't know if this is a contract situation where he wants to be valued more as a quarterback or he's trying to preserve his body more, but there are countless situations where I had to pause my film and just go, why is he not running right here? Like, there's no linebacker, there's no spy, and he's still throwing it 40 yards down the field into double coverage for an incomplete pass. Maybe they fix that. Maybe they change, but I've just watched too much of him choosing not to run, despite the fact that he's in collapsed pocket situations. I would assume they changed that. I assume he runs. That's why I'm not going to actually bet the under. But I don't like the over, and I know a lot of people love the over too. So hopefully nobody kills me for this one.
Vaughn?
It's hard not to like Lamar over rushing yards, but I don't want to take the most bet prop if it's an over, and I prefer to play his rushing attempts maybe, but that's juiced at 9.5 to the over. And even if it gets to 10.5, I'm like Stu, where I'm like, now we're talking about taking under territory. But the Saints defense has looked good the past two games. They've looked much improved. So yeah, I think Lamar's gonna be passing a lot. I like the Saints in this game particularly. Like I got the Saints +3 in my pocket on Wednesday. It's no longer available. Monday Night Football. Home dogs have won 7 straight, and the unders have hit 8 straight when there's a Monday Night Football home dog. And if we're talking about a low-scoring game, I think the Ravens might be punting a lot. So, yeah, I'll fade this one too. I like Alvin Kamara's rushing yards more than Lamar Jackson's tonight.
Yeah, and I will complete it. I think I'm gonna stay on the under as well. I did not think I was going to, but the more I think about it, I'm like, they're gonna have to do short passes, right? I think that's gonna be really where it's at. I do like Kenyon Drake a little bit more than I thought I would when I looked at the stuff there. I kind of like him as like a dart throw, maybe in like a showdown thing or something like that. But like I said, I'm not betting anything in this game. It's just I've always been the guy to be out on a limb by himself, even when we had 4 of you guys in here. But I'll join today. I'll join the party, and we'll cheer for Lamar just to try to chuck it around.
Yeah, how many people did we lose in that brief intermission from NBA? Because I don't think the people are going to like that. I don't think I've seen a single person say anything negative about it. I thought you guys were going to kill me for that. So I'm glad to get a little bit of community support right here. That's good to see.
Yeah, no, we actually gained people. We got 50 of you guys live in here. We appreciate you. Smash that like button. We're heading into the final 3 spots of the day. We have our first ones out. If you haven't seen them already and you just popped in, they will happen. They happened about 10 minutes ago, so pop back over there after. And we'll also do a recap at the end with all of those. And yeah, I see a couple questions in there. We'll get to those after we're done with our spots here. But let's head to yours, Vaughn. I love this dude tonight.
Yeah, I'm on Cade Cunningham, man. Like we talked about Halliburton a little bit. Cade Cunningham's been like the same thing in a Pistons uni. Like he's been living up to his number 1 potential hype. He's got the Thunder today, and some people are going to say things like Lou Dortz is out there for the Thunder. Okay. Cade Cunningham is enormous, a huge point guard, tons of length, but he's been awesome. I mean, the one career game he did have against the Thunder, 28 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, crushed this line with 44 points, rebounds, assists. But he had a nasty stretch. So 4-game stretch where Cade Cunningham put up 27.7 points per game, 8.2 rebounds, and 7.5 assists per game. That's about 44 points, rebounds, assists per game. Then the next 2 games he went under those, and they were both blowout losses to Milwaukee and Cleveland. So this is just a great get-right spot, in my opinion, for Cade Cunningham. At home this year, he's averaged 24 points, 7.5 rebounds, and almost 7 assists. So he crushed this too. And if you look at OKC, they're bottom 10 against rebounds and assists to point guards. So Cade Cunningham will get 20 points tonight. And as long as he gets his rebounds and assists, he's crushing this number too. So one of my 2 favorite plays tonight, Cade Cunningham's over points, rebounds, and assists. And it's good at 35.5 too. I played it there as well today.
Stu, any thought on this one? Or want me to take this one?
Well, I mean, I know you're a huge Cade guy, so I know this is like good for you. I just want to say that the backup guards on Detroit are so bad that they really can't when Killian Hayes goes and plays, I'm sure every Detroit fan just sinks back in their chair. You know what I mean? Like Cade kind of needs to be out there. So I definitely like this prop. And like we say all the time, I love guys that can get it to you in so many different ways. If he is a down scoring night, he's a guy that can give you a double-double, get up there in both assists and rebounds. Because like you said, he's a big guard, right? He can do a lot of stuff out there. So I definitely like Cade. I like the PRA combo.
Yeah, I'll say briefly, Killian Hayes, if you see his props up, you slam the unders. That's how bad he's been this year. When Monotone and I faced off in Battle of the Bets, that was going to be my first bet. Killian Hayes, it was under 13.5 points, rebounds, assists. I bet it, and 20 minutes later, we go to do the episode, and it's no longer available. DraftKings never put it up the rest of the day. The guy finished with 0 points, 2 rebounds, and 0 assists. All right, he is very inefficient. Cade Cunningham is the future. And now they got Ivy and all these other guys. They have so much talent around there, Sadiq Bey. So it's a fun team. Pistons and Pacers are 2 of the most fun teams to watch in the NBA right now.
Yep.
Yeah, and Stu knows I love Cade Cunningham. He's already on my YouTube play of the day earlier today. And I love how he grabs rebounds. I love his assist numbers. Dude's pushing out, 13 potential assists per game. He's averaging almost 11 potential rebounds per game. That's crazy. That's crazy for a guard. You mentioned he's massive, dude. He's like 6'6". This dude could do pretty much everything on the basketball court. And I absolutely think Bojan Bogdanovic is the biggest pickup of the season, bro. For these lower teams, that dude is a sniper. He literally fits perfectly for this team. This dude's driving 20 points a game. I'm on his over 18.5 already. I already bet that because I think Cade's going to be driving and kicking. And if they're not going to send somebody in the paint, it's just going to be a free dunk for him. So it's drive and kick, and if you don't stop him, it's a dunk. So, yeah, I'm all over this game. I think this game is awesome tonight.
100%.
Let's go.
And we'll head to you, Stu, a guy we haven't seen on Pass the Prop yet this year.
Really? Yeah, probably. But I do like Devin Booker so far this season, over 26.5 points. I found out Vaughn also really likes this number as well, which has been great too. I love to hear that. I love when you get an accidental collab, right? We come together, we didn't talk about it, but hey, we're both on the same page. We both see the same things. And the biggest thing for me right here is, man, this matchup history is insane. If you look back at his game logs against Philly in his career, it is some crazy stuff. I'm not talking about just beating this number. I'm talking about averaging in the mid 30s over his last 10 games. And that's with Joel Embiid and an above average defense for most of that time. Now we get Philly in a spot we're not used to. They look discombobulated. That defense isn't firing at all cylinders. They don't have rim protection anymore. There's a lot of concerns about that Philadelphia defense. So I like that we're getting Booker right here. I saw someone say, what about Matisse Thybulle? You know, he's good. Matisse Thybulle is really, really good at defending, right? He's a very, very good defender. His role is smaller than it has been in any of the previous years where Booker's put up those crazy numbers. Matisse Thybulle can't score. He legitimately can't score, so he can't be on the court, right? When Philly's in these close games, they can't have someone like that who's just a complete offensive liability out there on the court. What that means is there's going to be less Matisse Thybulle. They need to score. They can't afford to have him out there guarding Devin Booker. I think Booker has a great game. It's a good environment right here. I'm excited for this one. I think he goes for 30+ once again right here. And also, just one more thing, too. I want to bet his MVP this season. I feel like if the Suns win, I feel like Booker really does have to be that guy because I'm just another year of Chris Paul getting older and older, shooting less and less. DeAndre Ayton being – what's going on, Ayton? What's going on? You got the contract. Let's play a little bit harder, buddy. I don't know what's going on down there. No Jay Crowder anymore. It feels like Booker's going to have to do it all himself this year. So this is a guy I'd probably be betting on a decent amount this season.
Yeah, hopefully you're going to have to hope Luka goes down with the freaking numbers that boy is putting up right now. The dude's usage is like, dude, it looks like me playing my player in 2K, bro. Like, that's literally what Luka's doing out there. But I'll kick it to you, Vaughn. I'll let you take over because I know you're betting on this one too.
Yeah, as I say, Chris Paul's having his worst shooting season, I mean, really in his whole NBA career. And then you got Ayton, you know, who he's very hit or miss. Cam Johnson got hurt now. So it's like, it is Devin Booker. You know, I'm not going to talk anyone off Bridges tonight because, of course, he was drafted by Philly, traded away on draft night. His mother works for the Sixers. So there's always that narrative of him going to Philly or playing Philly, of him putting up points or numbers. So I won't talk anyone off Bridges either. But, yeah, 9-1 in the last 10 games to the over for Booker in the spot. In the 9 overs, he averages 37 points per game. Like, that's ridiculous. And he had a nice spot last game because they – had a back-to-back against Portland. They lost on a buzzer beater the first night. The second night, they did a trifecta sweep where they handled the first quarter, first half, and the full game, and Booker only played 29 minutes. So he's semi-rested, not entirely because they've still played 3 games now on 4 nights, but he didn't play more than 30 minutes in 2 of those games. So great spot for him to get busy. If Embiid's in the game, I think that only makes the case stronger for Booker have to go for 30 points. So I'm definitely with you guys right here. And yeah, there's no fear of a blowout because the Suns have won 6 straight against the Sixers. And so you could say, like, of course, they're going to continue that. But the money is coming in on the Sixers today. And that's because not only have the Sixers been discombobulated of sorts with this new lineup and James Harden being out now and everything, but you've seen Tyrese Maxey play like a star right now. Like, he's balling. You've seen Tobias come into his own in a way. These guys can play with each other. They're only going to get better playing with each other. So these guys were all part of the teams that have been losing to the Suns as well. So it's going to be a competitive game whether or not Embiid plays, but I expect Embiid to play in this game.
Yeah, and one more thing real quick. I saw Alan earlier. He mentioned Bridges, and like you brought him up too. I think Bridges is a good look tonight too, honestly. I think they can both coexist. He's such a low usage player in general, right, where his role isn't really going to directly take away from Booker that much. The only thing is, guys, how much revenge can you possibly get on a franchise? I mean, did he not get his revenge the first 7 times they've played each other in his career? Like, I know it matters to him. He probably will show up more. I definitely won't be mad at it. But you can only use a revenge narrative for so many times, right? He's probably a little tired of the revenge at this point. That's all I'm just saying.
Yeah, the only revenge one I even care about now is Cleveland and LeBron. That's the only one I'll even think about it because
it's the only time he shows up in a suit.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So that's like the only one.
Whole suit and tie, and I'm like, this guy wants to score 27 on the dot, and then then he sits out the next night, and it's like, bro, you were fine. Talking about this is the best I felt in weeks. Now I'm not sick anymore, and he's like, I'm not going to play the next game though. It's like, what?
Oh, all right. Here it is. Here's my last play, my biggest play of the night, and I honestly think I might put more on it. It's a little combo play that I usually don't do, but, man, I just don't know how this one doesn't get there. We have Paulo Banchero, 20 points, SGA, 25 points. I have this on FanDuel at minus 122. And what other superlatives can you use for Paulo Banchero in his first, 2 months in the NBA, dude? This guy has been an absolute scoring machine. Obviously, the injury to Cole Anthony even helps his cause even more in terms of usage rate. But Banchero's hit this in 8 of 10, right? He's been absolutely fantastic. Even since Jalen Suggs has come back, he's still averaging 19 shots a game, right? He's still 50% from the field since Suggs has been there. And this dude is just playing so many minutes. 36 minutes per game in competitive matchups, right? Obviously, there's been some games where he had foul trouble and such, but the dude is playing so much minutes. There's not really anything else there, right? You got pretty much you got your starters. That's pretty much what the Magic are rolling out there with. I don't know why they're just not using RJ Hampton at all off the bench, even when they didn't have any guards left. I don't know if he's just in the doghouse or what, but there's so much usage going to Banchero. He gets so many shots. You have Houston, who's in bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom 10 in three-point percentage allowed, bottom 10 in assists allowed per game. You have field goal percentage. They're bottom 10 in everything pretty much defensively. Yep. Anything you really want, they suck at it defensively. So obviously pace will be there as well. It's a huge pace up spot for the Orlando Magic. And then heading over to Shea, I mean, Shea's so damn good. There's not much else I got to say on this dude. 30 points per game so far this year. His usage rate's 33%. I like finally Oklahoma City has staggered the minutes of him and Giddey. So when Giddey gets off the court, Shea just does whatever he wants. Every shot is his. You're seeing him over 20 shots per game pretty consistently. He's still averaging the 6 assists, but, man, 30.5 points per game. He's, I think, 6th in the NBA in points per game so far this year. And obviously we talked about this game environment. When's the last time we've seen a 1-point spread for OKC or Detroit? And now you're seeing it for two teams that have very good young talent. Let them go at each other here in a 1-point spread. Don't really have to worry about the blowups that you usually have to worry about in the Pistons games and or the Oklahoma City Thunder. I love both these spots. I think this line is great. 1.5 unit might actually get some more of my money here. I know you have the collab with Vaughn on Devin Booker. Me and Vaughn, we're talking about SGA quite a bit. I'm glad that we're on the same page here. Vaughn, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I mean, 28.5 is only available on DraftKings now for Shea. And I'm not surprised. I figured this would be 29.5 or 30.5. He's not quite the Kevin Durant or Luka Doncic territory, Giannis territory yet with his points, but he's definitely getting there. He's just taking so many shots, man. I mean, and when he's not getting his field goal attempts, he's getting free throw attempts. He's at 8, 11, 11, and 5 in his last 4 games. So he clearly just continues to get there. And this is his first game or second game of the season under 27.5 or 28.5 points last game against the Bucks. So it's another get right spot for him. And how you're on Banchero, I love him too. I didn't know how to play the Magic because I was choosing between him and Jalen Green tonight. And then the Kevin Porter news came out when you and I were texting. And then now, Jalen Green's probably off the map. So, yeah, I think that Paul is the way to play in this game. He's got Rookie of the Year locked up as long as he doesn't get injured.
Stu, you're on mute there, my friend.
He was saying that.
Good call right there. Good call right there. I was going to say I wanted to bet his Rookie of the Year, but it was 300 before the season started. So I'm not going to win any money there, unfortunately. I do like this play. I also wanted to see, I want to check real quick. You can only bet this on Prize Picks, but free throw attempts for SGA, lock it in, whatever it is. Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duran is the most foul-heavy combo in the league. No doubt about it. Those guys might both foul out tonight. SGA attacks the rim relentlessly, and they can't do anything about it. So I would legitimately crush those free throw attempts.
And if you have the option of of made free throws. Dude shooting 97% from the line so far this year. That's free money, dude. Just free. You just make it all of the free ones. Everybody yells at all the college guys for missing those free throws because they're free. SGA ain't getting us like that. That's the only thing I'm worried about is my mental health on watching college basketball, betting on them when I have an over. And these boys, 19-year-old kids, can't hit a broadside of the barn from the free throw line. Just had to get that out of there. Just had to get it.
It's like LeBron James from the free throw line. This guy is incredible. He can't make anything. I don't know if you guys saw that yesterday, but it's bad. But shout out to whoever in the chat just said that we got SGA at -105 on DraftKings, or on MGM, I mean. That's a great find. I'm about to tweet that out here. We could do our code tweet. Just
love it. Love it, love it, love it. I am very, very pumped for this show. We have so many great spots here for today. Double collab. Looks like we got the Booker and SGA collab dropping from this show. But we appreciate all you guys for tuning in. We have still over 40 guys in here. We want to get to all your spots. Let's go through them as quick as we can. We'll have one person talk on each of them here. This one, I think, just goes straight to Stu. We have Turbo in here. Over or under 3.5 first quarter bets tonight, Stu. Where are we thinking here?
Yeah, if it's up to just me, smash the over right there, okay? If DraftKings doesn't like that, they see what we're doing over here and they take them all down like they do half of the time, then you got to hit the under right there. But yeah, we're going to have some first quarter tonight, 100%. I'm going to be going right to that after this show ends right here. Got a nice 3 to 4 hours to go, so 100%.
All right, let's go. Vaughn, I'll kick this one over to you here. Roy is dropping a spot here. Thoughts on CJ McCollum? Obviously, we've talked about that game being a fantastic game environment. Over 31.5 points, rebounds, assists.
Yeah, it's a hard one not to get behind right now. Zion Williamson, I saw could be questionable in this game. They got Brandon Ingram back now. Herb Jones is back. So there's a lot of mouths to feed, which makes me want to bet the under. But if Zion's out, you're getting real value here. I don't personally think Zion would want to sit in this game, but who knows? He could certainly eat up against the Pacers. I lean the over in this one. I think all the guards could eat up in this game. Beautiful.
All right. Allen's dropping 3 of them here. I think we kind of mentioned the Bridges spot at 13.5. I like Anunoby at 17.5. Obviously, there's a lot of minutes that he's going to have here, especially with Siakam out here. Dude might play 42 minutes. Like, I'm not even kidding. He might actually play 42 to 44 minutes. I don't even know if he comes off the court today unless he gets in foul trouble. I know, Stu, what's your thoughts on Beef Stew there? Over 23.5 points, rebounds, assists.
So I like it, but like I said, foul trouble is huge for me. The Thunder also, foul trouble is going to have to keep me away from that one, unfortunately. And 2, I want to say my Discord's been hammering OG Anunoby stocks, so those steals and blocks. Like you said, 40 minutes a game, that might be something to look into as well.
I like that a lot. That's an interesting angle to look at him. As a Bulls fan, I was disappointed myself for not betting OG last night because he's been terrorizing the Bulls the last few times they played. And it happened again. He's had 21, 22, 23, and 22 points in his last 4 against the Bulls. So I couldn't talk you off it. It is the second night of a back-to-back, playing the exact same opponent. But if Siakam is not playing, there's no reason why Anunoby shouldn't go for 20 again.
Yeah, Siakam, I think, is out for 2 weeks. I think he's out for
2 weeks?
Yeah, okay. He's out for
and Van Fleet hasn't been super efficient, I wouldn't say, scoring the rock. So, yeah, it's probably a really good look.
All right. I'm going to send this to you, Vaughn. I know you mentioned this game for one of your bets. Alan dropping question on Sabonis here. I know you talked about Curry. What is your thoughts here at 33.5?
Sabonis hit the over on this against the Warriors, and the Kings were actually – interesting game with that. The Warriors were up by 35 at like 1 point against the Kings in that first meeting. The Kings came all the way back and lost by 5. So there's an angle for both teams here to come out aggressive here in the first half of this game. I think Sabonis is probably a pretty good bet, but I'd rather bet his rebounds. I think he's going to have trouble with screens in this game, and it might get him in foul trouble. Last game, he struggled with fouls again. He had 4. Against the Heat, he only had 2, but the 2 games before that, he fouled out with 6 against Charlotte and Miami. And I was on that Charlotte game. He needed 1 more point, rebound, or assist and did not get it because he was in foul trouble all game. And then the next 2 games, he goes over. So if you're riding the streak, I wouldn't talk you off it. I think his rebounds is the best way to play it, though. Kayvon Looney's going to keep him in the paint all night. That's for sure.
Yep.
Beautiful. I will talk about here. I always, if I'm taking Russ, I'm always taking the rebounds in there. He always finds a way to attack the glass. I think that gives you the better option, right? You have, if he doesn't get the assist, he could still get there on rebounds alone. That's exactly why we talked about Cade's points, rebounds, assists. That's why we talked about a lot of these guys when we can grab the rebounds, assists versus one spot, right? I mean, he's had 8, 7, 6 rebound games in those games, and that's with LeBron playing, right? So I think that the best way to play it is definitely if you add rebounds in there. Dude, just every single free throw miss, Russell Westbrook just runs. He is Superman, bro. He will jump from the 3-point line and grab that rebound. You got to pad the ass somehow, you know?
I'm not like I've been watching him play lately, and I've been thinking like the rebounds and assists Russell Westbrook that we love so much might be coming back. And that's really exciting because those are the easiest bets when he's just running up and down the court, grabbing boards or running to the free throw line and not getting a foul and throwing it to somebody. So absolutely love Russell Westbrook in the next couple of games. I think I'm going to try and find an angle, maybe even take shots on the double-double or triple-doubles.
Yeah.
But I'll say this last thing. A couple days ago, I want to say 4 or 5 days ago, Russell Westbrook was 35-1 to win Sixth Man of the Year after he had his first good game of the season. Russell Westbrook is now the favorite to win Sixth Man of the Year at plus 195 or plus 300 at FanDuel and DraftKings. Unbelievable that it's come to this. I would not bet that because the value. But as you get prop bomb, Jordan called me a couple of days ago and was bragging about how he bet that. And I was like, I might throw a couple of bucks on it. What's it now? And he said, it's only plus 300. I said, what are you calling me for then? Like, I can't even bet that now. So don't bet Russell Westbrook. Look at a different angle, but I would probably look at Christian Wood if you're in that market for six man. I really like what Christian Wood has done with Dallas, and I'm not loving Jordan Poole this year, man. I'm losing fan of Jordan Poole. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I like the Wood look too because they tried to bring him in. They tried to close some games with him, and then they were like, "This is a terrible idea. This isn't going to work." And they even started Powell over him. So I like that. Oh,
it's a great point. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and a lot of people are looking at certain players or teams to bet on. It's like you have to consider where they're going to be in a couple months. And like, yeah, the Lakers, they're just not good either. Like, and the Warriors aren't good right now, but we know the Warriors will be good. The Lakers, they're probably never going to be good this year. So, yeah.
Yeah, dude, my only other bet in that game is every time, I don't know if it's just because, but every time I see Jordan Clarkson playing the Lakers, I take his over points. The boy is a machine. He changes completely against the Lakers, dude. He just goes right for people's throats. I know he went like 26-5 in his last game against the Lakers, and it was only 18.5, and I think it's only 18.5 tonight. So, yeah, just a heads up, that's probably finding his way to my card.
I saw that one. I like that play a lot too because I was like considering that. I was waiting for Colin Sexton props, another guy coming off the bench. Well, sometimes starting too, but he's had 22 points in the last game, and I'm thinking now is a great time to fade him. But that could be a game where we see both teams just sprint up and down the floor now, especially if Russell Westbrook's starting. That's going to be a ridiculous game. So I probably won't play an under in that game. But I did. Paul George made his way to my card under 26.5 tonight. I thought that was a good way to play on a back-to-back night. If you guys have any opinions there.
Yeah, no, and Cleveland's tough. Man. Yeah, Cleveland's tough. That defense is tough. I know you mentioned Cade, and this is one thing I do want to point out before we get to our recap is we're trying to – it's like buying stocks, right? When you have dudes that had 2 bad games, it's not because they played bad. It's because they got blown out. And NBA coaches will pull them, right? It's the same thing with Shea in his last game. It's the same thing with Cade in his last 2. You get blown out, you're not going to get thrown in there for your last rotation. You miss out on 6 minutes. That's a lot of different props that could be hitting there, right? So buying low is a great look. And I know you mentioned that when you're talking Cade, but I just wanted to reiterate that that's a huge point, especially in these games in NBA. Like, they're going to throw in the towel. You're down 18, right? Yeah, they say Steve Nash is gone, bro. He ain't going to throw it in when you're down 5 with 8 minutes left. That's only Steve Nash, you know?
Yeah, and to the complete opposite side of the spectrum too, like selling high. Like Paul George is the complete example of that tonight. Yeah. You look at his last 4 games, I mean, the dude's like insane. 52% from the field, 45% from 3, scored 35, 28, 32, 34. And you see his point prop last night at 24.5, And on the second night of a back-to-back, it's at 26.5 now. And the guy doesn't even play back-to-backs, and he averages 22 when he does. And it's like, yeah, you look at the defenses, Houston, San Antonio, Houston, Utah. No wonder the guy's going over. And you see Cleveland, and it's like, hello, tallness. Hello, tall and beautiful. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Where you been at all my life? So, yeah, you got to know when to sell high on people and when to buy low on them. So I like that.
Man, I mean, that was great right there. You accidentally just sold me on that prop. I've got to go bet it now. You just did that perfectly right there. Hopefully the people heard that the way I did right there. I love that. That's a good spot. It wasn't even a show play. We just got a bonus right here at the end because you're right. That's 22? Is that up to 26 right now? Yeah, no. I hate playing guys against Cleveland, man. I hate it. Those guys, they fight, they brawl, they make it real slow and grimy. It's a great under spot. So I'm definitely going to be telling you right there.
Love it, Jay. Appreciate you. Appreciate you staying with us this whole time. It's recap time, guys. A little bit longer than usual. We're at that 50-minute mark, but hey, I didn't even feel like 50 minutes. Felt like 5, honestly. So let's send it over to you, Stu. I'll let you do your recap here, and let's get it rolling.
Yep, I'm going Steven Adams over 9.5 rebounds, minus 130 for play number 1. Then we're going Devin Booker over 26.5 points. Somebody mentioned first quarter. He's a great first quarter player, so that'll be a look to a little bit later. And then, Pickett, Taylor fade. I'll be fading Lamar Jackson rush yards today, fading the public.
Beautiful, and we'll send it over to you, Vaughn. Start us off.
Yeah, I'm on Steph Curry. Chef Curry over 27.5 points against the Kings. Should get around 30 to 33 points in this game, as long as we don't see a blowout. And then I like Cade Cunningham, man. Over 34.5 points, rebounds, assists. Dude's been an absolute animal. We talked about the buy low point. He's the ultimate buy low guy. And then Lamar Jackson. I'll also be on the fade train. I have a show on NBC tonight, 7 to 8 on the NFL and NBC YouTube. Maybe this makes it onto my card tonight. Like I said, I didn't plan on having any plays because Saints +3 is gone. Maybe we fade Lamar Jackson and just scare everybody. Why not?
Yeah, and how many? By the time it gets to you, it's probably gonna be like 75.5. To be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to know when to let some of these guys. Like Lamar Jackson's a big name. His props are only going up. So it's like just wait 10 minutes before the game, and then you take the under, and you're good.
Love it. And we're heading to my boy here, guy who didn't, like I said, never thought I'd touch his rebounds assist part of this line ever, but Buddy Hield over 27.5 points, rebounds, assists, minus 107. And my big boy of the night here, Paulo, 20 points, SGA, 25 points, minus 122, FanDuel there, 1.5 unit play. And I will also be on the under for Lamar Jackson. I know, guys, we didn't do our NFL spot today, but again, we appreciate all you guys tuning in. Again, record right there. Very excited to continue that. But, Vaughn, I know we've had you on before. Tell the guys where to find you. Anything else you want to say to them before we head off today? Still got 45 of you guys live in the chat. We appreciate you staying in this whole time.
Yeah, appreciate everyone that watch. Hopefully you guys make some money tonight. Hopefully you guys learn something as well. V-Money Sports on Twitter, man. It's the busiest season of all. We got the NBA, which takes primary care tonight. Monday Night Football, college basketball starts. I wouldn't be betting heavy at all in college basketball this first week if I was you. And line movement will not tell you any stories. It just means someone thinks they're very confident, but no one knows for sure what's going on the first week of the season. So be careful with your wagers, but best of luck with whatever you guys do this week.
Stu?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll grab 2 quick questions too. I saw someone say Fox looks like an auto bet. I want to say I do like Fox today too. I think that's just an over game. And one thing, Alan said it's important to mention Cleveland is bad against shooting forward. I just think it's important to contextualize the roles these guys have on these teams. He's not a traditional shooting forward, right? When you look at those stats, you see how guys like Mikal Bridges are defended against, right? Paul George is going to be defended in a completely different role than a guy like Mikal Bridges. So simply because he's a primary ball handler, he's super involved. His usage is way higher than most shooting forwards. So I just want to say it's important to look at stats like that with context, right? Because a center on one team, a shooting forward on one team has a different role than they do on another team. So I just want to throw that out there before we got out of here. As for me, I've got my first article up for the 33rd team. It's my only player prop of the night so far over on Twitter. So definitely go check that out. I think the write-up is very good. I feel like my write-up's been very good recently, so I'm feeling good about that. I want you guys to check them out. I want you to, like Vaughn said, get smarter, pick up a couple things, learn, how we approach these games, and keep winning money. That's all I got.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't even know, is Paul George a small forward? Or I thought he was a shooting guard.
he's kind of a wing.
He's whatever they need him to be.
Exactly.
And tonight, actually, there's some injuries, and Reggie Jackson wants to play, but he's really banged up. So Paul George, the Clippers already said Paul George is going to be playing a little point guard at certain points in this game, which brings on the responsibility of passing far more often, running an offense. So I don't see Paul George being – he's still going to score and he'll have the ball in his hands more technically, but when you're the point guard, you're not coming up the floor and then going right to the basket. Yeah. You're running and setting up an offense. So, yeah, it's slightly different role with Paul George. I mean, he plays point guard, shooting guard, and small forward.
Yep.
When you got Zubac and who's your power forward, Morris, if they still he plays everything. He's a 1 through 4.
Yeah, and let's have my little send off here. We appreciate all you guys for popping in and staying in here. We appreciate all you guys in here. Also, shout out to V Money for popping in on that late notice, right? We had the late notice LeBron injury out. Guess what? We fill him in right away with V Money. Takes that place and obviously dropping some bangers for us. 2 unofficial collabs coming through, which is awesome. We'll have obviously post those over on Twitter. And again, I know Stu mentioned this on our last show. Just because you're not in here live with us, drop those questions. I'll still get the notifications. I know Stu usually pops on there too and answers those questions if you have them, whether it be in the DMs over on Twitter or on the video. Make sure you drop those questions. We'll get to them or try our best to get to them before lock tonight. But also, unit management, make sure you're smart here. College basketball, I'm not touching a game probably till Saturday. And then obviously 15 games. You could bet so many different things here, but the books are giving us lines does not mean we have to bet them. So make sure you're smart on those bets here. But thank you again, V Money. Thank you again to all you guys popping over here on your Monday afternoon for some bets, and best of luck on all your bets tonight. And hopefully we can come back with a 6-0 for our Wednesday show.